Thank you, Presiding Officer. Let me say at the outset that I recognise the thought and the content of Mr Rowley's remarks, but unfortunately it's a shame that Labour didn't decide to put this in its motion and have the confidence to put it to a vote, because the motion put forward by Labour is a motion which in its paucity and vacuity is only commensurate with the Labour Party's puerile approach to politics. Given the opportunity to put forward and put to a vote an alternative prospectus, Labour has instead chosen to sacrifice what is left of its credibility with a craven motion, which is more about its pursuit of its fanatical obsession with denigrating the Scottish Government. And after Labour's decade of denial at a cost of 40 MPs, 25 points in the polls and 26 seats in the chamber, Labour has now successfully distilled its loathing of the SNP into this loathing, into this laconic motion. Presiding Officer, I do, however, applaud Labour. I applaud Labour on their newfound efficiency of messaging. I only regret that their colleagues in local government seem to be anything but efficient in their handling of public services and public finances. Last year, Labour-controlled Renfrewshire Council downgraded recycling centres across the authority, including in Johnston and Linwood in my constituency of Renfrewshire South. Despite huge local opposition, Labour pressed ahead, only to reverse the decision 3 months later at over a cost of £280,000. They do not like it. Now, if this fiasco in Renfrewshire was an isolated incident, it would be bad enough. But it's sadly part of a bigger picture. £100,000 wasted in the aborted revamp of George Square, up to £100 million in North Lanarkshire as a result of Labour's mishandling of equal pay. And let us not forget Labour's multi-billion-pound toxic PFI legacy. It's this kind of reckless approach and needless waste of taxpayers' money that typifies Labour's approach to public spending. And in their proposals for raising revenue, Labour's incompetence is only matched by their incoherence. And out of respect for colleagues who want an opportunity to speak, I won't be taking interventions. Let me say this, after years of calling for the council tax freeze to be lifted, South Lanarkshire Labour have indicated that they will continue the freeze because, in their words, residents are struggling with their budgets, while Labour members in this chamber demand that income tax is increased for the lowest paid in society. And while on those same Labour benches in this chamber they call for an increase in the additional rate, even if it leads to less money for public services, their shadow chancellor has said that Labour will support Tory plans for an inflation-busting tax cut for those in the upper rate, something John McDonnell admits is a tax giveaway for the wealthiest in society. This is a shambolic approach to public policy. It's no wonder people don't take the Labour Party seriously on public services and finances. It's clear from their record of incompetence in local government that the Labour Party couldn't run a menage, never mind a government. And as for the Tories, their amendment is but their latest attempt to undermine the principle of differentiation that underpins the devolution settlement. After their unconstrained ecstasy at yesterday's confirmation of the legal irrelevance of the Seoul Convention, which they legislated for, they now demand that we do not use the tax powers that they themselves argued we should be devolved. Coupled with their intransigence to a differentiated solution for Scotland and Brexit, it's clear what the Tories mean by strong opposition. It's what it's always meant to them. Strong opposition to devolution and strong opposition to the will of the Scottish people. Regarding the specifics of the amendment, not content with using parliamentary time to ask self-serving questions so several of their members swan off to work second and third jobs, the Tories now want to give high earners like themselves a tax cut. Presiding Officer, this could be regarded as showing a comedic level of chutzpah, were it not for the tens of thousands of people who have suffered as a consequence of their party's draconian and inhumane welfare reforms. To demand a tax cut for the wealthiest in society while implementing policies that are driving our most vulnerable into debt and reliance on food banks show that the Tories, the party of the rape clause, are as heartless, callous and cynical as ever. And to add injury to insult, the Tory claim to be offering lower taxes is actually utterly disingenuous. Their position is, rather than HMRC, they would have pharmacists implement their prescription sickness charge and students pay their £9,000 a year education tax. Presiding Officer, while the Tories have used and Labour have used this debate and will continue to use it in their motions to engage in the politics of the playground, I do want to close.
I'm afraid you're closing right now.
The amendments brought forward by both the Greens and Liberal Democrats, who have recognised that this is a parliament of minorities and are seeking to put their views forward.